In question 2, you're asked to prepare journal entries for some money that was borrowed back on November 1st, and then you'll need to make an adjusting entry on December 31st to accrue the interest expense on the loan. And then finally, on April 30th in the following year, you're going to record the payment of the loan. So one thing to be aware of is it tells you the interest rate is X% payable at maturity. So remember that when a rate is given, you should assume it's an annual rate of interest. So you're going to multiply the amount borrowed by the percent given in the problem, the annual rate of interest. That will give you a full year's worth of interest. Then you divide by 12 to get the monthly interest, and then multiply by however many months have gone by. So when you record the adjusting entry on December 31st, 2 months will have gone by since the company borrowed the money, and you'll record 2 months of interest expense as of December 31st. And then when the loan is paid back at the end of April, you'll need to recognize 4 more months of interest expense and also debit the amount of interest payable that you recognized on December 31st in your adjusting entry. Now, this entry for the payment of the loan and all the accrued interest looks different than how I explained it in class and how your textbook explains it. And that's because Connect is expecting you to combine the 2 journal entries into one. So I want to help you with that since you're going to have to combine them. Your debit to notes payable will still be for the original amount borrowed. And then you're going to go ahead and throw in the interest accounts into this entry. You'll debit interest payable for the amount you recognized in your adjusting entry. You'll debit interest expense for the 4 additional months of interest expense recognized in 2019. And then you'll just have one giant credit to cash, both for the interest being paid and for the original amount of the loan. So we're just putting these entries into one big entry rather than splitting out separately the repayment of the loan and the payment of the interest.